followed my bait up or something right there. Oh. That's a good fish. Got to bring him up slow. Oh man, that's a nice fish, folks. That's what I thought. Little spoon man. Look at my graph just going nuts. Let's get him back in here, let him go. Oh my goodness, that's a good sized fish right there. Come on. Ah, little spoon bass right there, folks. Look at that. And you can see by my graph, whoo, they are loaded. Man, that's a beautiful fish. We'll let it go back. It's got to get back down there, get its swim bladder back in order. I'll tell you what, we're at Apache Lake. We're doing something I enjoy doing, I've been looking for a long time, and it's called the spoon bite. And I'll tell you what, we drove specifically out here to hope we could catch this bite towards the end of November, you know, and this is when the weather really starts turning cold at night. You almost get a little frost where I live, on the frost or ice on the windows. I'll tell you what, this is the time of year to come out here and do a little spoon fishing. And Apache Lake is so much fun to do this. There's a lot of fish down there. What I'm throwing is a big 3/4 ounce strata spoon. And I'm throwing it on my bait cast rig today. My Taipan medium action rod, Johnny Moore's Signature Series reel with 12-pound test line. When you're throwing something this heavy, I can get away with that 12-pound test line. As you can see on the deck, I also have my smaller spoon hooked up. I think I'm just foul hooked. Let me see, I don't want to bring it up too. Oh, maybe. Nope, that's a fish. It felt foul hooked there from, now he's swimming. Now he's swimming. Another nice fish down there, folks. And this is what happens. If you had a couple of people in the boat doing this, oh, you'd have a ball. Look at the size of this largemouth, huh? Look at that. Oh, I lost him. Ah, let's get back down there. Let's get back down there. You can see right here, look at my graph as they came up. They followed them up. There was more than one fish there. And boy, you fire the school up, a lot of times you catch more than one fish, that's for sure. You know, you look at the depth of water we're in, 50, 40 foot of water, 50 foot of water, they're down there. That's why I'm using the heavier spoon too, is that way I can get it down there quick. You know, the whole ticket for me, and when you're doing this kind of spooning, is to drop it all the way down to the bottom, let it go all the way to the bottom. Now you always want to make sure you keep yourself in a position to set the hook. So you want to get your rod tip as low as you can to where your lure's touching the bottom, and then pop it. Just give it a couple, you know, a little pop. Sometimes you can give it a couple little jerks, but a couple pops are great. And let it flutter all the way back down. Now you can see I let a little slack in the line because I want my spoon to flutter down. If I kept my line solid like that, and I followed the spoon down with it and don't put any slack in it, then the spoon kind of falls kind of straight. Doesn't have a good natural fall like a dying shad or anything like that. You know, once you fire that school up, if you've got somebody else in the boat with you, you can start catching them one after another. And it makes it for a lot of fun. You can go from 0 to hero real quick with a spoon bite, let me tell you. The problem is finding it. And how to find the spoon bite, a lot of times is finding the areas that that you think that they'll bunch the shad up in, and finding the big coves and stuff. It looks like we're in big open water, and we are. I didn't set the hook. Yeah, I got him. Unless I foul hooked. It feels like it's foul hooked. Nope, that's a fish, a smaller one or something. You're going to catch some yellow bass out here too, and that's exactly what I just did. Look at that, a yellow bass. And you'll catch some of these yellow bass out here too. They'll bite those spoons, and there's tons of them in this lake. Let me get my pliers out. Yellow bass can be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, I was just talking to a buddy of mine that was out here with his kids and had a ball. Actually got a trip with my good friend Josh Bertrand from the Arizona Fishing Guides, Elite Series angler, and I'll tell you what, they came out and had a ball, and the kids had a ball too. What makes this rig so much fun, if you can find this bite, especially if you have kids, is it's not a lot of casting in the boat with a lot of people. You know, you can just drop it straight down into the water and just let it fall, you know. But you're going to catch some yellow bass too. I can see that there's fish down there. We're right on the ledge of a drop off. If I move 5 feet one way or the other, I'm gonna be in 50 some odd foot of water. So I'm fishing a ledge from 37 all the way out, and you can see the fish are stacked down there. And they'll swim through chasing them shad, and that's usually when you get bit. I like being able to catch them on this bigger spoon. You know, sometimes you have to downsize, and that's why I've got that other spoon out, just in case I have to downsize. There's one. There's one. Could be, you gotta bring them up slow. They feel like a bunch of mush, but you gotta bring them up slow. They'll start fighting when they get closer. But you don't wanna blow them up, especially in that deep of water. Here we go. Oh man, look at the size of that largemouth. Don't you jump. Look at that, folks. I gotta get it in. I'm swinging it in. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there. Hooked underneath the jaw. Look at that fish. Beautiful largemouth bass. Get it back in the water as soon as possible. You know, when you're catching and releasing these fish, it's very important that first and foremost, you bring them up slow when you catch them, because they'll blow up and you'll hurt the fish. And so when you get them up, get them released from the hook, and then drop them right in right away as fast as you can. And that way it gives them time to swim back down while they still have the energy to get down where the swim bladder will level out. And that way they're not hurt. Now, they don't get the binge is what we call it. But I'll tell you what, that's catching them, and that's a lot of fun. Finding the areas, finding the little points and the drop-offs really work well when doing this kind of fishing. And what I mean by that is we're in open water, but you gotta be a graph reader. To do this kind of fishing, you gotta know how to read a graph. And it's great practice this time of year. If you don't know how, now's the time of year to do it. Get out and have some fun. And look at that down there. Just a lot of fish down there in 46 foot of water. You can see all the fish down here, and then you got some up high. You know, when you're in this real heavy wind like we're in today, and you still want to spoon and have some fun, it's a little tougher, because a lot of times it's hard to keep your boat right over top of your line where you can actually see your spoon pop, but you can still see the fish down there. You know your spoon's in the area, get down there. But one other ticket is when you find fish that are loaded in a particular area, you can actually mark it. And what I've done is, where I started catching that last fish, I actually marked the spot of where I was, because that's the point. So you can see there's still fish down there, but there's a point right there where that stop button is. And so I'll keep moving over there, because when you're in open water, it's hard to tell exactly where you were and where all the fish were bunched up on the corner. So, you know, that's a good start spot for me. So I know if I don't get too far from there, you know, these fish will roam around in that area, and you'll catch them. Once you find the spot, you got to mark it, because if you don't mark it, you'll go thinking you're in the right spot, and you'll be 30 yards the other way. You know, it's real easy to get lost out in the middle of nowhere. Important to use your graph. You up there moseying around. Oh, got him. I got him right there as I pulled it up to those fish right there. He hammered it. What do we got here? Oh, look at the size of that largemouth, folks. That's what's schooling underneath the boat right there. Yeah. Big old Apache Lake bass. I mean, we're catching some 1.5 to 2.5 pound fish out here spooning. Look at my graph. When I caught the fish, I reeled my spoon up. Hard to see it, but I reeled my spoon up, and when I came through here, the fish actually hit it as I stopped it and popped it, and that's how I caught the fish. Now there's more underneath there. Of course, that's the one of them released, but sometimes you got to reel up to the fish. You'll see the fish suspended, and a couple of cranks of the reel, get it up there where the fish are, and just stop it a minute and pop it maybe, and they hit it. That's what happened there on my way up. I was reeling in and up to the fish. Look at those fish. Got that one. All right. Bring him up slow. Bring him up slow. Look at my graph going nuts right there. Now he's trying to fight. Oh, this was a good fish. This is a good fish. Let us see you. Take your time. Take your time. Oh yeah, look at that, a good fish. Oh man, That's a real good fish. And that, my friends, look at that. Hook popped right out. Let's get him back down. See if I can get something else in that school. I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. By yourself, it's a little tougher because with the wind blowing and I got a fish on, I kind of blow off the area a little bit, but they're in the area. It's obvious to see. Between that 40 and 50 foot mark, you can sure get them. They move in and out of here quite frequently. So you're gonna find yourself doing a lot of hopping with these spoons. And you know, being able to get out here, oh man, he popped it good. Being able to get out here and do this kind of fishing, there's one there, is a lot of fun. And we don't want to reel him up fast, but boy, I'll tell you what, they want to come up. You got to be careful. You got to keep tension on the line. Little spoon bass. Oh, look at that. Another yellow. It's okay, they're down there. Got that one. Got that one. That ain't no yellow. Got to take it easy with it. That ain't no yellow. Get up here. Oh, he ate it too. Come here, dude. You got it good, didn't you, bud? You know, these fish will move around, and a lot of times when you're doing this kind of fishing, especially in the wind, you just kind of stay in the area a little bit, don't move around a whole lot, and they swim right back up underneath you and you can start catching them again. You know? Boy, it sure don't take me long. You know, I got that button on that, where I spotted it on that graph, where I marked it. Anywhere in that vicinity where that button's at, they seem to be swirling around in that area. That's how we're able to catch them. So it was a good thing to mark that, because if we didn't mark it, we'd be out here going, where was that spot at again? We marked it because I knew that was where the big drop-off was. I didn't mark it because it wasn't just because I caught a fish there, but it was where we had an actual point that dropped from 32 foot of water to 50 real quick like, and they seemed to be bunching them up in that area. Hey folks, for my tip of the week, you know, when you're spooning, a lot of times you're spooning up and down underneath the boat and you actually don't see anything there. A lot of times you can fan cast your spoon. And what I mean by that is stay in the same spot. You know that they're swimming around you. Throw out there, let it fall and wrap it back. Just jig it back really hard, you know, real quick twitches and get it to come back. And a lot of times you'll find those school of fish that you're not even underneath out doing that. So that's another trick that you can do spooning instead of going straight under the boat if you don't see the fish there. You know, one thing really important, you can see, here's the bottom, we're in 46 foot of water and here's a fish. I drop down to the fish with my spoon. Okay, watch how the fish follows it down, and then I stop it and jig it up. The fish will follow it down. A lot of times you'll get bit if you just stop it. Or if you're down here and you see the fish, you reel up to the fish, and you can actually watch the lines of your spoon coming through. If you're in front of, right in front of your boat or on either side there, a lot of times you can see the lines of your spoon. If you can see that, that's why we zoom up on this, so you can really see what's going on. If I zoomed out, I wouldn't be able to see that as well. But this is zoomed in. That fish is in 46 foot of water. That fish was up in about 10 foot of water right there. You can see he was in about 25 foot of water. So, you know, we had to reel up about 20 feet to get up to that fish instead of jigging down here where you don't want to be. Sometimes you got to reel up to the fish. Those little subtle things like that, seeing those fish like that, if you're spooning on the bottom, sometimes you got to reel up to them, or just when you're dropping down, you see them follow it down, stop and pop it once, and boom, a lot of times they'll hit it. But that's important to remember. Got him. Got it. We finally found one there. Oh, it's a yellow bass on that jig wrap. Look at that. Little yellow bass. They're out here schooling. This is what you'll catch sometimes. getting in. You know, that's the fun thing about spooning is you'll actually catch different species. I've caught catfish doing this. You know, I swapped up to the, let me throw this back down there real quick. Well, here. I swapped up to the little, what I call the ice jig, made by Rapala. It's a little jig and wrapper. And it's really cool. It's got hooks on each end, and it's got the little treble hook on the bottom. You need to use a swivel with it. And then I bend the hooks out just a little bit to get a little bit more bite because they're really thin. But see the little wing on it? As this bait darts down and you pick it up and let it fall, it kind of darts like this. It doesn't fall straight down. It'll dart from one side to the other. So it'll dart as it falls. And sometimes that's the ticket to getting these fish to bite. And you know, sometimes when you're not catching them on a straight up and down spoon, like a strata spoon, you can change things up. This is what I was throwing, okay? And I switched it up to this. Now, this isn't really a spoon, but it's a little jig, like I said, but we keep it in our spoon arsenal. It's something kind of recent. I learned it off Matt Shure, to be honest with you. He found that bite pretty good. This is something we used to throw when I was a kid, something like this in the ice. You know, when you're ice fishing for trout and things like that, you can pull it up and let it dart down and the trout will eat it. But man, I'll tell you, the bass have just been going crazy over that bait. Something different to show them. You know, when the spoon is, when you're sitting in the same area and they keep coming through, it's almost like sometimes they might get used to your spoon. They're not as active on it. Throw something that little bit different. Something like this will work. I'm still throwing it on the medium action Taipan rod, Elite Series Taipan rod, and the 12-pound test line, and it falls straight down, which is really nice when you would just unlock the spool and just let it fall straight down. You know, we've caught a lot of fish today and had a good time spooning and jigging. And I'll tell you what, that little booger catches some fish now. You know, one mistake that a lot of people make, I think, when they go spooning is they think that all the fish are deep and that's the only way you catch them spooning. Do you realize I've caught spoonfish in 15 to 20 foot of water too? So sometimes you have to check those areas out as well. Spooning can be a lot of fun, and a lot of times what ends up happening is you're tossing at the bank, your boat's in a little bit deeper water, you look underneath, and all of a sudden you see action happening. That's why it's good to have a spoon on the deck at any time, even when you're crankbaiting or spinnerbaiting. So get out, try some of this stuff. It's that time of year where it really works good for you, and I'll tell you what, you might be pleasantly surprised, and I'll tell you what a great time to learn your graph a little bit as well. I'll tell you, if you zoom up a little bit, just one little tap of the zoom, it'll really let you identify what's on the bottom a lot better, and it might help you with your spooning, just that one little deal there. Thanks for joining us on the show. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.